Hi, it's Craig, and we are back in Liverpool, and I just wanted to share an experience that I've just had literally yesterday with a new property that we've actually been we've completed on it, but it's a tenanted property. And with any tenanted property, one of the things that you really want to do is obviously build a good relationship with the tenant straight away. So if the tenant's been in the house for a little while already, then they're going to be thinking of that as their home. Naturally, they're going to be a bit worried about a new owner coming in and what's going to happen and stuff like that. And in this case, the tenants were lovely. They were wary of the new owners, as tenants often are. But like, having been in the property, there are a few little minor things that needed doing. And one thing that needed doing was the front door had dropped. And it had dropped so much so that they had a nice laminate in the hallway, and the hallway laminate was being scraped every time the front door opened. And this door, I mean, it wasn't just stiff. This door was like really, really hard to open, simply because it just dropped a few mil. So like, we were there the first day we got there. Our handyman was there, and in fact, it wasn't our handyman, it was the guy that does all our windows and doors. And he had a screwdriver with him, and he said to the tenant, "Do you want me to just sort this?" Within 5 minutes, he'd sorted that door. And all it needed was just a few screws tightening to lift the door back to where it should have been. Now, that tenant has had to put up with that door for probably 4 or 5 years. Can you imagine that? Not because they didn't want to, tenants kind of are walking a fine line, because they don't want to work on someone else's property, and at the same time, some of them don't have a huge amount of money, so they're worried about the cost of things, and generally they don't know how to fix things. So it's like just a small example of what a little thing that you can do to really build a good relationship with a new tenant. They were absolutely delighted with the fact that they can now open their front door, and it doesn't have to be forced in a really forcible way and ruining the floor. So they couldn't believe A, how quickly it was fixed, and B, the impact of that. So just a really nice win for them and for us, and it sets that relationship off and running in a really positive way. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Cheers. Bye.